Yeah, I'm kind of spying on him right now. Do you guys want to spy on him quickly? He doesn't even know he's on right now. He has no idea. He can't hear me, so. All right, chat. Listen, I'm going to jump in with Dal now. I love you. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Dal. And a big old welcome on in for my man, GoodSirSketch. Wait, he can hear me.
Can you hear me?
I'm stuck here. Yeah, you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
There we go. Perfect. So now if I do this, my dude. All right.
What's good?
Something is a little broken here, so I'm just gonna fix that.
Are you good?
Da-da-da-da. Yeah, we're getting that doubled audio again. I don't know if you've had any experience with that, but man, it's like super buggy.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know why. I'm just fixing your little screen because for some reason it was off.
A little bit too big. Yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
No worries.
We got a couple here, so I can make you big screen as well. That's so cute.
I see.
You're like, whoop, whoop. I might need to turn you up a little bit as well, I think.
Okay, sounds good. I can turn my mic up too if you want.
Oh yeah, do that just a little bit, yeah?
Is that better right there? Is that too loud?
Yeah, no, that's perfect, actually.
Okay.
You're looking so good, brother. It's so good to see you, man.
Have you liking that shirt?
Have you been working out or?
I mean,
you
not really.
No? Oh, I thought you had
no,
been.
Not too much. I wish. I need to more, honestly. I just don't. I, for some reason, don't.
Man, you know what? Like the quarantine kind of motivated me to work out quite a bit more. So I'm definitely committed to working out an hour a day every day.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, so and my wife as well. So we've been running together, and we've been doing something called the Couch to 5K. And so we started like running 1 minute on and then like 2 minutes off. And now
there you
go. Yeah, it's like the first week is like super easy. Like anybody in the world could do this first week. And and now we're run for 25 minutes straight. So, and it's like week 6 or something. Oh yeah,
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
way to be. Yeah, I've seen like a bunch of your progress stuff, man. You've been doing awesome.
Seriously,
that's so cool.
It's been a year.
It's been a whole year.
It's been a year since I started.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I need to get into something like that, especially like more cardio, something, you know.
I mean, you already
mostly for like the health part.
You already look good though. Like you're obviously taller than I am. But you already look like built. You got big shoulders, and you know what I mean. Like, so I feel like you're kind of lucky in that regard.
You got the hockey player build.
You do have a hockey player build. Did you ever play?
Yeah, I played for like 21 years actually. Played for a long time.
Wait, you play? Hang on a minute, Dal. You're only 21 years old to me in my eyes.
I'm 25.
Okay, 25. All right, I get it. Yeah.
I started when I was like 3-ish years old, something like that.
Did you ever feel like you were gonna go pro or?
Yeah, I got drafted a couple times, almost went pro, but I didn't want to move too far away,
right.
And there wasn't any professional teams around here, so I ended up not doing it and doing other things around here just because it was I was like, it was an existential crisis in my life basically, where I was like, you know what, I can really go for this,
and give up everything.
Give up everything and have possibility of concussions and all these other different things
and money and
or
fame.
I could stay at home and do like, you know, try to make more of a difference, I guess, than I would be making if I was doing that.
Do you not feel that if you were to get big enough in hockey, and you know, let's say whichever, let's say you know, you stream for 5 years and you get the same amount of sort of fame, I would say, as you do as hockey. Let's say maybe it takes longer, but it's more of a, you know, wholesome community. You know, people that you can connect with rather than just fans of what you do and your talent in the game and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you would have more of an influence as a famous streamer or a famous hockey player?
Probably famous streamer, just because of the audience that it reaches. A hockey player, like it doesn't reach the same kind of audience that streamers do.
Maybe that's
reach the audience.
Maybe that's like, the point though. Like If you're,
okay.
you
I
know,
can
if
get
you're
that.
a famous hockey player, maybe the point is that you're reaching people that wouldn't necessarily hear or
True.
understand the views that you have. And obviously, I know,
Especially coming out with a personality, you know, and actually talking rather than just being a hockey player too.
yeah, and creating some of the worst coffee on the planet, right? Have you had it? You've been to Canada, right?
Yeah, I've been to Canada quite a few times. Actually, my mom's side of the family's from Canada, so we used to go up there like every year. They're from Alberta and a bunch of other different areas, Providence, I guess.
You had that coffee,
Yeah.
right?
I don't know if I have actually. I haven't had caffeine in 3 or 4 years, dude. It's been a
That's
long time.
right. So, and
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, you've done multiple no caffeine streams, right?
Yeah,
Like
I've done
24-hour streams.
I think I've done 4 or 5 of them so far. I don't know if I can't remember how many we've done so far.
With no caffeine.
Yeah.
So what do you
I just start
have?
losing it.
Do you really? Like, is it?
Oh, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I just get I like hour 18 or 19. My body's just like, dude, we gotta get some rest.
So what do you do? Like
But-
water or?
Well, without caffeine, like I've had like because I haven't had caffeine in forever. If I eat like fruit or
yeah.
like just good for you food, then it actually gives me a lot of energy. So for the most part, if I just like what I usually do is I'll just make like a pasta meal that I can eat for a full day.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of different meals for pasta. And then I just have a bunch of energy like throughout the whole entire stream and I don't have to worry about it too much. At the end, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
But you know,
I
it's
remember when
worth
I
it.
did mine, I actually kind of walked through it. There was only really one time I felt tired and I remember it so clearly. I just wanted to play Fortnite. I was just like,
Yeah.
and it was only for about an hour, but I played Fortnite with Arwen and Nicole for about an hour, and I swear that is what got me actually through it. You know, like, I don't know. It was just, I don't know. It was something about being comfortable and being, just hanging out with people in chat and and things like that. And I think at that point, at my tightest, I think it was hour 22, and I think everybody says hour 22 is the one that really hurts.
18 to 22.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's definitely the rough one for sure.
You've
Once
done
you get past
4?
that, though,
Why
it's
so
easy.
many?
I just enjoy doing them. Plus, it's a big thing for the community, and honestly, like it's huge for charity stuff. I've been able to raise more for charity during those 24-hour streams than I can usually even in like a month almost sometimes.
I feel that.
So it's amazing for what it does, and they're so fun. I really enjoy them a lot. I have a really good time.
Yeah.
Every time I do it.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets really close, and there's always a group of diehards that will like do it with you every time, and I love that.
I know, it's crazy. I don't understand. I feel so bad, but like at the same time, it's like, nice job, guys. You guys are amazing. It's insane.
I think the Tash is saying that it was 5 24-hour. You've done 5.
We've done 5. Okay.
5 24-hour streams.
I barely even remember all 5 of them because I get so tired at the end and stuff. But they're a lot of fun. They're pretty crazy. The last one was the most exhausting, probably.
Yeah.
I fell asleep like afterwards. Just I remember I held my girlfriend and then I laid down and then I fell asleep for like 8 hours and I woke up and she was like, "Oh, you're up. I can finally move."
Oh no! So after this 24-hour stream, you've grabbed her and that's it. She's stuck.
I was like,
for 8 hours
right here and sleep.
And you're a big guy too, so
yeah, she couldn't move me. I felt bad.
How is Kirsty?
She's good. She's really good. She's probably watching right now. She's just
hi Kirsty
in the room taking care of Higgs right now.
I love that. Wait, Higgs is the new puppy, right?
Yeah, new puppy. We just got him. He's 8 weeks yesterday. So
right.
He's still a puppy, but
I saw some photos and I was like, oh man, everybody's getting puppy ears. And now I want a puppy and I can't have a puppy because where I live and
oh really?
Yeah. So what made you
no pets around your area? Is that why?
It's I mean everybody has dogs, but for me, like growing up in Australia, like everybody has big houses, big yards, right? And we don't in Vancouver, not really a thing.
Okay.
And in a way, I think it's kind of mean to have a bigger dog inside a small apartment.
Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
There's a lot of people that will walk their dogs, but I mean, I grew up with dogs being able to just run all day, and they will run all day if they have the ability to run all day, right? So
Definitely.
yeah, it just doesn't sit right in my brain because of that. I don't think,
That makes sense. That
I have a
definitely makes sense.
I have a little cat though, Greg.
Oh, you do?
He's like the smallest, tiniest little cat, man.
Oh.
Yeah, he's
Hell
a
yeah. I wish.
sorry, what were you saying?
I said I wish. I love cats. I'm allergic to cats, so I can't actually. But I love cats so
Really?
much. They're so cute.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of hockey player dudes that are allergic to cats.
Really?
That's
Maybe
something
it's
I've
the ice or
actually
something. I
heard.
don't know.
You think it's the ice? The
It's
okay,
the ice, man. Every
maybe.
time.
Maybe we figured something out. The ice is what's making hockey players allergic to cats. I love that.
Careful skating, guys. It'll make you allergic to cats.
Yeah. Pick up a hockey stick or a cat. Your choice.
Yeah. Gotta pick one of the two.
Now you were working from home. I mean, you're full-time streaming, right? So
Yes.
you've been working from home even before COVID started, right?
Yeah. I have basically just been streaming for about a year, probably maybe a year full time, maybe less than a year full time when
Right.
I'm like actually taking it seriously and everything. So I haven't really needed to worry too much about the whole COVID thing in terms of my work life,
Yeah.
except for as of recently.
Yeah. So I mean, recently both your not just one, but both your parents got COVID, and you haven't been able to see them. And
Yeah.
so tell me the story. Like, what happened? How did they get it? And what's that process like?
So I don't really know how they got it, honestly. My mom was just randomly, she was sick one day,
Right.
and I wasn't even thinking of it being COVID. I was just like, oh, that sucks. She's not feeling well. Like, I'm hoping she'll start feeling better. Like, it wasn't everything wasn't pointing towards COVID. And then my dad was like, well, I have a weird tickle in my throat. I'll go get tested. And he got tested, and he tested positive for it. And the doctors were like, okay, then your mom definitely has it for sure. And so she was positive for it as well. And then actually my brother-in-law and my sister both got it as well. So
Do they all live together, or like how did they get it off
So
each other?
I'm not sure how they got it. I think it's probably just because of they've had some kind of interactions with my mom at some point. So it probably was just maybe because they hung out with her and she hung out with the kids at some point. But my brother, who lives with us as well, he got it too. But it's kind of weird. They all got it. Kirsty and I, the day my dad tested positive, Kirsty and I basically moved to her apartment for a little bit so that we could keep her safe and make it so that she could still go to work and stuff. And basically we didn't get it. I don't know how we didn't get it, but we got the lucky end there, and now they're finally okay. I was pretty worried about it, especially because my mom, she's extremely high risk, but it was lucky that she kind of just caught the weak part of the virus and just kind of was able to make it through without too much of a problem. My brother was the one that got sick for a little bit longer, but luckily it's all clear now, finally.
That's such good news. I mean,
Yeah.
that's incredible because it's such a I feel like it's an easy disease to beat for most people that have a decent
Yeah,
immune system. But if
definitely.
if your immune system is compromised in any way, it can be absolutely devastating to
Exactly.
your lungs, to your body, to everything. And even if you do recover from it, it can leave you with seriously impaired long-term damage.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just happy that all of your family's okay,
Yeah, me
that you're
too.
okay, and it's a long illness as well. Like I mean, people are telling me that it's it's a couple of weeks. It's not like you get it and then a couple of days later you're fine. It's a couple
Yeah,
of weeks regardless of whether you get it really lightly or get it really bad, right?
exactly. Which is kind of insane. It lasts that long, and like they were suffering for those like 2 weeks too. Honestly, they were really really struggling.
Yeah.
But then they started to get the uphill. They started to be on the mend a little bit, and it was a huge difference. But they said that the body aches were the worst part. Honestly, they said that everything else was manageable, but the body aches was like they were just so painful.
You know what? In Australia, I get, obviously we had colds and things like that.
Mhm.
But it wasn't until I came to North America and got sick that I felt these body aches. And I never heard about body aches with anything before, right? Like
Oh
it
yeah.
wasn't a thing, every now and again somebody would say, oh man, I got the chills or, whatever. And then when I came to North America and I got sick for the first time. Here I am laying in bed. My entire body's aching. I'm like, what the hell is going on? So that's a crazy different thing. And then I hear that this has really, really bad body aches. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
That's interesting. Maybe it's more of a North American thing for body aches.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I guess.
Wait, let's get a poll here. Chat. How many of you guys get body aches when you get sick? You type a 1 in chat if you've had body aches when you get sick, if that's a common thing or that's just in North America. Everybody does. It looks like everybody does, man.
Okay.
Yeah, so that wasn't for me. I'd be interested to hear what, Holly and Calypso say because they're both from Australia, whether they got body aches as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But
I think Calypso got sick too when she was in the US for TwitchCon.
Yeah, so when she was in San Diego, she got sick, and she had to end up staying in San Diego for longer than intended because of the sickness, right?
Yeah, that's what I remember.
Down with it. So they're all better now, right? Like I know it's been at least a couple of days since you said that they were all good.
Yeah.
So is there any worry now that they're still infectious for an amount of time?
No, luckily, we actually got the okay from the doctor to come back on Wednesday of this week for like Kirsten had to come back without having to worry about anybody being super contagious or anything like that. All their fevers had broken like days beforehand,
right?
And it was the only thing they had was like sniffles, basically.
Is there any worry of them getting it again?
No, because we disinfected the entire house.
Oh my god, what was that like?
We spent like an hour. Well, we have
an hour to disinfect the entire house. Damn, what do you live in a shoebox?
My mom bought she bought like I think 10 gallons of Everclear to make hand sanitizer.
What's Everclear?
So she made hundreds of bottles of hand sanitizer.
Oh my god.
And we all like they just walked around the house with 2 hand sanitizer bottles, just spraying everything that they could see.
Yeah, I remember. So I'm actually, my wife and I are applying for permanent residency in Canada, so we can stay here forever, right?
Awesome.
But we had to go and get a medical test for it, right? They need to find out that we're okay. And when I went there, I'd actually scheduled myself to run there. So I'm I'm running away, and it's like it was the perfect distance. So I'm like, I'm just gonna run that. That'll be my exercise. I'll get my stuff done, and then I'll be good. I didn't think about what that meant when I rocked up sweaty.
Yeah,
and not sweaty and out of breath. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like super sweaty, but like kind of sweaty and enough for somebody to go, "Hey man, do you have a fever?" And and that was the first thing they said. They were like, "Hey, do you have a fever? Can we check your temperature?" I'm like, "Oh, I just went for a run." They're like, "Yeah, nah, we're gonna check you anyway." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, cool." And then like, got this little thing that like, sits away from your head. And it's like, Deer. Have you seen those? They're like contactless. Yeah.
They just push a button and like shoot a laser into your head. Like I don't even know what it does.
I wonder what that is actually doing. They do that at restaurants now as well.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that's a good idea, huh? With the whole pandemic going on.
Yeah, I don't know if that's an accurate representation of whether you do or don't have COVID, though.
No, definitely not. My dad had no symptoms whatsoever. He just had a small tickle in his throat. That's it, and he tested positive for COVID. So
crazy. And they just have no idea how they got it.
Yeah, we're not sure. And my like aunts and uncles even got it too when they weren't even really in contact with them too. Like my whole family basically got sick. It was really weird.
Yeah, I mean that just gives you an idea of how easily it spreads, and and
definitely.
It's crazy now because Canada's flattening the curve and Americans pushing it back up again.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there. Like, and even in Canada, I see people probably taking risks that they shouldn't take. I mean, everybody has a bubble, right? So
yeah,
the bigger you increase that bubble, the more, the more concern you have or should have. And then, obviously there's like Simply says, there's lots of protests going on right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's tons of people touching each other in different ways. And, so I guess that can at least partly explain the curve going back up, but how do
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Not the most social distancing right now in the US.
nah. Where do you live again? Are you like you're in the thick of it or like
We actually Utah is I live in Utah, and
right?
we had like just recently we've had more positive COVID tests than like half the United States. So
Yeah.
Utah is not the best for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I've
We've had a pretty big spike here.
oh no. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
mean, you guys are doomed. So does that make you like make everybody around you have to go back into this quarantine, sitting at
Yeah.
home and yeah. How you finding it?
Basically, yeah. Well, I mean, for us, it's not too much of a worry, like for me or for Kirsty and I, because I mean,
You
really,
say her name's
all
so
we do.
interesting because in Australia, the way her name's spelled is Kirsty. That's how we say
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
say Kirsty.
Well, everybody has a hard time saying and spelling her name.
Yeah.
I did too for the first little bit that I got to know her.
Okay, so it's Kirsty, not Kirsty.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kirsty.
Kirsty. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Damn, I've missaid her name 1,000 times then.
Everybody has. I
Yeah.
did too. Don't feel bad.
For those of you in chat that no doubt, how many of you have mispronounced Kirsty's name? I'm trying. Hearing me say it, yeah.
Kirsty.
But it's like hearing me say it, I'm trying my best, man. I have
It's
trouble
hard.
with
It takes a minute.
I have trouble with a lot of people's names because they're said so differently to the way Australians say things,
Oh yeah,
Like
and
Kirsty
especially like,
Kirsty's a common name in Australia as well.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even
Kristen,
know that. That's
Kirsty.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty common name.
Yeah, with our jobs, like streaming and stuff, we just kind of know, and we have, I guess, the broadest spectrum of trying to pronounce people's names.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, like I
Uh,
work in the visual effects industry. It's really multicultural. So there's a lot of names out there that I just cannot pronounce.
Oh yeah.
I usually find it's Indian names usually. Some of my
Mhm.
friends it's that it's spelled Akbar but said like Akbar or something like that, and I just
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm too
Like
Australian.
phlegm.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll tell me 1,000 times. They're like, "Yo, just call me Alan, mate." Like, just call me Alan, dude. Yeah.
Just say this crazy name. They're like, just call me Alan.
Yeah. Just call me
Rick."
Al, dude. Most people just call me
You're
Al.
not gonna get it right. It's okay.
All right. So listen, I got some questions for
All right,
you
let's hear it.
from Instagram. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I put out a thing on Instagram. We got a few questions for it. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you these questions in sequence. The first one is from Taylor. Taylor, if you're out there, hello. The first one is hello.
Hey.
Damn, he's really good at this, Chad. I don't know about you, but damn. Okay, the next one is from Deanna, and she said, "What has been your most embarrassing moment on stream?"
Ooh. It was either trying to do the MC Hammer dance in the gold suit.
Oh no.
That was really hard for me to do because I don't know how to dance very well. I'm not the most rhythmically blessed, I guess.
You're not the only one. Don't worry about that.
So it was either that or it was trying to eat the balut on stream because I actually
Wait.
did you know what
What's a
balut is?
balut? Is that the little chicken
Balut.
egg?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
duck egg. It's a little
Right.
duck embryo. It's kind of like a Fear Factor thing, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
all
tried
right.
to eat
Let
that
me
on
tell you a
stream,
little
and I
story about
almost
Fear
threw up.
Factor.
Well, let's hear it.
I caught an episode on YouTube somehow,
Okay.
and then all of a sudden I have all 7 seasons, and we're on like season 5 right now.
Let's go.
And-
Hell yeah. That's
And it's still
awesome.
everything
Joe
I see.
Rogan's
I'm
the
like, I
best.
could do that. Joe Rogan's a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a hilarious guy. I watched his podcast with Brett Weinstein, and they're talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
they're talking about the worry that a lot of the movements right now are leaderless in a sense, and really they know they want change, but they don't know exactly what that change is and how to do it. So it was a really interesting conversation to hear somebody's perspective on something that essentially is just meant for demolishing racism. Like, I really don't
Yeah.
understand why that can be a bad thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have
Joe
you cat?
Rogan's I love his podcast. I watch it all the time. He just has a lot of information in general. I like that. He's more straightforward with things, I feel like.
Definitely. I think the
Yeah.
thing that sets Joe Rogan's podcast apart from other podcasts is because there's some really like I like the really intelligent AI versions of the podcast. And I don't know if you ever heard of Lex Friedman. Like he's this super, super intelligent dude. And he has like Ben Gowowski on, and people like that create the Sophia AI robot.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I
so he
remember
has
that.
the creator of that come on, and they have these conversations that I can't follow. Basically, they're too intelligent,
Yeah.
and but he's so monotone. You put the same guy on Joe Rogan's podcast, and all of a sudden, everything he says is like golden nuggets,
Yeah,
And I think
exactly.
Joe is what makes the people interesting.
Yeah, well, Joe is a representation of us,
Exactly.
We're the ones that don't know that much. And
Yeah.
he's the person that he's talking to is the expert,
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
like
he
he's
seems
just
to.
like, ugh, mind blown the whole time. Like
Whoa.
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love it
Wait,
so much.
what?
Yeah. Wait. What? Yeah,
Can
he's
you
good.
say
Man.
that again? Say that again. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's really
yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah.
I enjoy it.
Say it again. let me just unpack that. Yeah, he's a funny guy, and I think it's really interesting to see an average guy that is clearly intelligent, like a normal type of intelligence, just like a switched on kind of guy that's witty and funny. Obviously, talk to people that are just so much smarter than him, and hear him talk to them in a way that is kind of like a child opening Christmas presents. Like,
it really is.
whoa. when
explain this in every way.
Yeah, Elon Musk is like, yeah, so we should be able to teach you guys kung fu with a chip in your brain in 10 years. He's like, that's I'm 40, and 10 years is not that long ago, and that's really close,
Yeah.
And you can see his brain like, oh fuck, in 10 years
Just
I'm gonna
rotating.
know. Yeah. And he genuinely thinks that he's gonna learn kung fu in 10 years.
I mean, if you've seen him fight, he technically knows,
Bro.
Well, he knows jujitsu very well.
Yeah,
He's an
bro.
insane
Have you
fighter.
seen his leg kicks?
Oh my gosh.
Bro.
They're devastating.
Yeah,
He's scary.
So Joe and I are exactly the same size, and I think he
really?
generates about 25,000 times more power in his legs than I can.
Dude, you've seen him kicking pads and different things, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
He blows my mind, man. Like he moves an entire 150-pound bag like it's nothing.
With his yeah. What's up, Sandra?
Yeah.
Good to see you. How you doing? All right, so I have some more questions for you.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. Now I got it through the fucking microphone, mate. I had this little tickle in my throat, mate.
Oh no.
Imagine.
Imagine.
I just need some water. Okay. I'm not used to talking this much, honestly. Like most of the time I'm just working away, right? So next question is Pure Steph says, why did you want to become a streamer?
Ooh, that's a good one. I actually initially my dream was to become an NHL player. Like that was my entire drive for a long time because I was playing hockey so much. And my family pushed me to it so much because my brother played it as well. And I was the only one that really stuck with it because my brother had a lot of other things that got involved, and I was like, no, I want this, So I stuck with it for the most part. And
I mean, you're also
I
perfectly built for coffee. For coffee.
Coffee.
You're perfectly built for hockey. Is what I meant to say.
And that's I enjoyed it so much. It was and I still love it so much. Like even now, if I were to be able to go play pickup hockey, it would be a blast, and I would love every second of it. But when I had that existential crisis that I was talking about earlier, I was like, I just feel like it'll be better in terms of like my mental state and in terms of what I can do and who I can grow to be if I stay here. And then I was working a different job for my dad.
How do you feel about that? Sorry to stop you right there, but how do you feel about that mental state because I mean, from personal experience, I think streaming in general is such a volatile mental state place to be in.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to hear you say that having a career in hockey, like having a career in streaming is more stable mentally than going off and being a professional athlete.
Yeah, I mean, initially, maybe not to start with, but
Right.
it's helped me the past year that I've been streaming, especially the past year because I've been taking it so much more seriously.
Yeah.
I've grown more as a person than I have in my entire life, just because of the relationships that I've been able to build and the people that I've been able to talk to without having to.
Well, and learning to
'Cause,
be
like,
able to trust those relationships as well, because
exactly.
like having an online relationship is very difficult. And it's because you're behind a screen, you never really know who's on the other end and what they're like on the other end. And it takes, I think, a lot longer to build build a relationship online than it does when you meet somebody in person.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. When it's in person, it's almost easy. When I met you in person, we were just like homies immediately. It wasn't even a problem.
Yeah, no.
But it just takes a second to really trust people if it's an online thing. Plus, for me, I mean, I've had like major anxiety like my whole life, and hockey helped me in certain ways. But
Yeah,
I've been able to like.
That's funny
look
because hockey is supposed to be
into.
so confident.
Yeah, well,
Maybe
I was
that's what the
quiet
issue
hockey
is.
player.
Yeah.
I was very, very quiet until someone messed with my teammates or something like that. Then I wasn't super quiet.
Then
But
you used all 6'9" of your body.
I was a little grumpy if people were mean to my friends, but that's pretty much it.
I'm the same, man. Honestly, I'm the same. I used to play AFL, in Australian
there you
rules
go.
football, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there that think American football is really, contacty. But here's the thing: is in Australia, we put these giant dudes that are like 6'2" or above, that have got shoulders the size of your head, and we put them at full speed, 100% speed, going at each other. And when those guys hit each other, there's no pads, no nothing, and it's serious.
Is it like rugby?
No, see, rugby, everybody's going the same way, and they're just trying to pull the guy to the ground. In AFL, you have two guys in the same way you have hockey players, right? I think hockey is very similar, but you guys wear pad for an obvious reason. You go faster than a human can run, and when you hit each other with such force that you can kill each other as projectiles, which is you're considered a projectile at the speed you're going, right?
Yeah, and the ice is as hard as concrete.
Exactly. So same thing with AFL. Even though they're running on gas, I mean they're going up to 30 miles an hour. Full speed. Two dudes, 60 miles an hour. When they hit hard, dude. It's like broken bones, broken shoulder, dislocated shoulders, ankles, heads. Dudes have died. It's
oh yeah.
And they're actually putting things in place to try and slow the game down, simply because so many people are getting hurt, blowing out knees.
Yeah.
Is it the same in hockey?
Dangerous. Oh yeah. I can't even count how many bones I've broken in hockey. It's insane. Like and all of my buddies, I've had friends that have had over 15 concussions. Yeah. I've had friends that have broken femurs and had to never play ever again because they just can't put pressure on it that much anymore. Like, it's a really dangerous sport.
Serious injury. People don't realize how big that bone is, but that bone is as thick as your arm. So your wrist, it is as thick as your wrist. So when it snaps, not only does it make an incredibly loud noise,
and hurt.
It is an incredibly dangerous, because it's right where your femoral artery is. There's a bunch of muscles. You never work.
A lot of important stuff there.
There is,
My brother actually, in a high school hockey game, my brother hit somebody really hard and broke their femur, and they had to get taken to the hospital immediately.
Yeah,
I was there too when it happened. I was on the ice with him. It was crazy.
I actually broke Kirsty just said lucky he has all his teeth. Thanks. I saw that. It made me laugh so much. It's true. How did you survive with all your teeth? You got such a nice smile.
That's the thing. I had all those injuries. Like, I have broken almost every one of my fingers. I've broken most of my knuckles, my wrist. I've broken ribs. I've I've broken my collarbone a few times,
Yeah.
and all these things, but I've never hurt anything up here. I've
Lucky.
never had a concussion, and
That
I've
explains why
never.
you're so good
I
looking.
did dislocate both sides of my jaw a couple times, but that's pretty much it.
Damn, dude. That no wonder. Okay, now I see why streaming is a little less stressful than playing. Okay. Holy shit. I don't
It
think
was fun for sure.
I think we answered the question, did we? Oh my
Yeah, I
god,
think so.
we got sidetracked. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm gonna move on to the next question from Listen. Where would you like to see your channel in 1, 5, and 10 years? What are your dreams? What are
Ooh.
your aspirations right now?
Well,
I mean, let's
honestly,
talk about 1 year. In 1 year, you'll
okay,
be as
okay.
streaming as long as I have, which is 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, right now you're doing really well, you know.
Thanks, dude.
For 1 year, I mean, it's incredible. It really is. My first year, 0 people forever. Like you're just every time I open up a stream, I'm just playing with buddies and stuff like that.
It's because of awesome people like you and some of the homies that we've met that I've been able to even get.
I think that's what Twitch is all about. You know, is everybody helping each other out and creating communities that just love each other, because not every single person is going to love every single person the way that they love each streamer. And, you find, and I found very much so that, there was this big group that came from Brendan and he like sort of spread it down to one person, and that spread out to like all the people that are really close friends with them. And then it trickled down. And all I can ever ask for is that more people like Brendan exist in the world. And, things work like that,
Yeah,
So where do
Brandon's
you?
amazing for what he's done for a lot of people for that, honestly.
Yeah. So where do you see yourself going?
Well, I would say definitely within a year. I mean, I would like to be able to have a member of the Sketch Fam on every continent, and just to have it be.
That is a cute little goal. I love that. Yeah, so Jade is saying she found you through the Up Club, so that's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's been a few people that have actually found me through the Up Club, which is amazing. Like, I remember you rated me during, I think it was one of my 24-hour streams, almost, maybe. I can't remember if it was, and that's when I even got one of my main mods too, like that's been with me for almost over a year too.
Shout out, let's go.
Yeah, seriously. Huge shout out. But I would say within a year, I mean, for the most part, I just want to be able to really be able to make huge differences in a lot of people's lives. I'm really not seeing it as the numbers. For a long time, I looked at the numbers and I stared at the numbers every single day.
That is a difficult thing to do, you know? And when you get really, really close to partner, it really gets inside your head and changes who you are as a person.
Yeah, and that's like in terms of the mental state that I was talking about earlier, like that's a big step forward, is when I was able to look at that and be like, I need to not look at the numbers in this. I need to look at this as people who I'm helping. I need to look at this as messages that get sent to me being like, thank you for doing what you're doing. That's, if I get that, that means I'm doing the right thing. That means I'm doing a good job,
Yeah, and I think for me that's always been like when I first started out, that was the thing, and then things started steamrolling, getting really huge, getting really close to partner, and I think in that moment I lost some of what made my stream, and I think eventually I was just like, oh, I'm being an idiot, and I just sat down with those
shit on my homie.
Those messages, those messages that you get, man. It only literally takes one person to say, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing. And that's it. One person. That's it. And that one person has always been my wife.
Oh, there you go.
So she's like, hey, I really enjoyed your stream. You're doing really good. I'm like, okay, that's all I needed. I can keep doing it now. Thanks.
Hell yeah. It's amazing what one message can do. People need to realize like how big that impacts.
Oh yeah.
One simple message like that.
Yeah. I love heart in the chat.
Yeah.
Have you ever got those I love you every day messages?
Yeah, from I send bros I love you.
Yeah.
Right? Or something like that. Yeah. I did get that for a while. I love that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That it like at first I was like, I don't know if I'm okay with this, and it seems a bit weird. And then you know what? When it started to not happen, I missed it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I kind of
So
miss it too. It's been a minute since it's happened to me actually, but
yeah,
yeah, I
I mean,
like that.
people
It's
lose
those just so
interest.
simple messages. Like the sketch fam for my birthday, they actually made this big book
Oh my
of
god,
just messages
that's
that they
amazing.
wrote to me,
Yeah,
and I just bawled my eyes out the whole. I still can't even read it without crying. Like,
bro. They did
and
the
that's
same thing to
to me. That's what
me.
it's all
I
about.
mean, not the sketch
Seriously.
round, obviously. Yeah, they did the same thing to me on my birthday. It's this huge book, and I mean, it's this
Yeah.
big. I'm actually having it printed out, and I really want to put it on my wall.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's impossible not to feel that right in the jugular heart
Oh
part.
yeah. Oh yeah. It
You
gets
know,
you real good.
take a hockey player down to tears.
100%.
That's so good.
I got a mushy heart, that's for sure, especially when it comes to that.
So I mean, I guess your plan is to just keep, keep doing what you're doing, and
Yeah, I
um,
want to grow as a person. I want
yeah,
to grow as a person while the stream grows. The
yeah,
way that I'm seeing it is, if the stream isn't like, I don't need to look at it as like I need to grow super fast. I need to look at it as like it's growing as fast as I need it to grow for my own person. Like the more it grows, the
yeah.
more my mental health will be better in general, and I'll be more comfortable with everything.
I mean,
And
that's a
I just feel
question
like
for you.
everything
What
happens
if it
for a
doesn't grow?
reason.
What if it shrinks? Do you think? I mean, you shouldn't depend your mental health on it, right?
No,
Obviously.
it's not dependent for
Yeah.
sure, but
Okay.
basically like almost like as the stream evolves, I evolve with it
Right.
in a sense, because
Yeah.
this has really been the only platform, the only place in my life where I've been 100% authentic, where
Yeah.
I've never changed who I am completely. I've just been me, and I've never apologized really for being me. And like that's a big step for me in terms of, because I'm usually just like a quiet person for the most part,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on who I'm talking
You're
to.
quiet in person
And
too.
I don't really, I don't know. I'm anxious as hell. Like I can't
I
help
gotta
it.
pull it out of you a little bit, and I love that.
Yeah.
You definitely,
If you talk to me, I'll
for the
talk to you.
first time I met you, you're definitely way more outgoing.
I try to be. It depends, especially at TwitchCon. I really wanted to be, because I really wanted to be able to talk to everybody. Plus, I was excited to meet everybody finally.
I was the opposite. I was pretty overwhelmed. The amount of
Yeah.
people, yeah, the amount of people that grabbed me, like, out of the blue, kind of just
Hmm.
jolted me into this kind of nervous, nervous state.
Oh.
Yeah, and I felt like, whoa, I just gotta be a good, nice person somehow. You know what I mean?
For me, I was really, really, really anxious going in, walking into the place, and then I walked into the main like exhibit hall. I didn't see anybody that I knew, and I was like just super nervous. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to meet anybody. I'm just going to probably walk by myself this whole time. And then I walked up the stairs, and I just hear Dallin, and I see you, and you're looking at me with your arms open, and you're like, "Come here,
Come here, man. Come here, dude.
Then I saw Jonah and Matt and a bunch of
Yeah.
the homies, and I was just like, "Oh, what's up? Everybody's here."
It's a good time, man. TwitchCon was so good. I
It was
miss it,
so
man.
fun, man. It was so fun.
I miss people so much.
Yeah, me too.
Like it's crazy. Like Jonah lives really close to me, and I don't get to see him that much either.
Oh, hell, really? I didn't
I
even know
mean,
that. Yeah.
close as in like, within an hour and a half. But it's
That's not bad
still,
though.
it's enough to be like, how do we make time? And yeah, man,
Yeah.
I really
We
wanted
gotta
to
have
go to,
a homies trip one time when the pandemic cools down.
dude, 100%. We'll have to go to Portland.
Yeah.
Most of the people in Portland.
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna say a quick, massive thank you to Craven for the 23 months in the chat.
Hell
Can we
yeah,
get some let's goes in the
go.
chat?
Let's go.
My dude.
23 months. That's an amazing feat right there, honestly.
He's absolutely been the longest subscriber I've ever had. He's an absolute legend.
That's
And
awesome.
considering we were speaking about TwitchCon, I actually met and hung out with him for the night at TwitchCon, and it was just so amazing to have somebody that I've known for so long. He's
That's
one
awesome. That's so cool.
He's one of the guys that first supported me when I was streaming early on, and yeah, man, all these communities and things like that. I kind of steer away from the streamer communities now, unless it's like somebody's personal community,
Okay, I feel that.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, Sandra with the 12 months as well. Let's go. Chad's just over here trying to break me in the background. Yeah, I mean, you know what it's like, right? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Now, Laurie has told me that you have a Sketch Fam board game in the works.
Oh, I do.
So, all right. So,
do.
I created my own board game, and right now,
Did you really?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Let's
it's a
go.
stream game. It's a stream game for streamers, and it got to the point where now I'm taking it a little bit further. So nobody really knows this yet, and I'm just telling you now. But essentially, I have some more better game makers looking at it, and I'm hoping to essentially have somebody else take the idea to something that is quite a bit better than what I could. You know,
get it like fully licensed and everything.
Yeah. I mean,
awesome,
at that
dude.
point, I would let it go. Like, you know, I would not be an owner in it. I just, you know, the IP is mine, so I get to sell that, and and then, you know, obviously, I'd be somewhat involved in having it, but I can't even play it now. And I really want to play it, so
that's awesome though. That's so cool. I mean, it's I just came up with it randomly. I don't even know where it came out of. I was just like, one day I was like, it'd be cool if we had a game where whoever won, like, I would take them to dinner or go make them dinner at their like at their place, you know. And then I was like, maybe I should do that. And then it kind of evolved.
So okay, so how big is this game? Because that's obviously quite a trip.
It's gonna be about a month and a half long. And we're also going to make like a donation goal for the travel fund to make sure that we can actually do it, you know, make sure it's a plausible thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really fun.
I'm excited.
Man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Okay.
We're doing it soon too.
All right, let me just walk this through in my mind, because being ADHD, my mind is going to 1,000 different places. But
I like it. I'm into it. I am too.
Here's my understanding. You have a board game that is played over a month, 2 months, whatever it is, which is, I think, a reasonable amount of time. And in that time, you, you know, obviously have a donation goal to save up the money to, you know, in case somebody lives in Germany or Austria or, you know, Australia or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, let's say all of that criteria is met. Like, you know, you have a winner, and you have the money saved up for, like, to travel across the globe. Let's say Australia, because that's fucking far enough for me to know that that's expensive and difficult and all those kind of things, right? So let's say you're at that point. All you do at that point is buy tickets, fly over for, let's say, a weekend. And you're there, you just rock up like, knock, knock, knock. Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm just here to cook you dinner.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. I mean, that's essentially what happens. We're probably, because Kirsty's going to come with me too, so we'll probably bring Higgs as well.
Right, let's go.
Just make a whole, I'm probably going to make a video out of it and put it on YouTube. And try to do a whole bunch of things and hang out with whoever wins.
We're here to cook you dinner. Yeah, me and Kirsty are here to cook you dinner. Oh, yeah, Higgs too.
Yeah, have him go play with Higgs for a while. We make you dinner.
All right. Okay. Is there criteria to, like, whether they live on their own or, like, you know, what if they live with their parents and, you know, like?
Well, what I will probably do is I could easily just get like an Airbnb out wherever I'm gonna go that has a kitchen, so I don't have to worry about it.
Unless
too much.
You go to places that don't have Airbnb, like Australia.
Oh, Airbnb is not in Australia?
I don't know about now, but definitely not when I was coming up, man.
Not when you were there? Okay. Well, there's a few different, like, you know, house rental things that I could use. And I know some people that are decent into that kind of stuff too, so I could probably figure something out. Plus, honestly, if I just get a decent hotel that has a stove top, I can make you pretty much anything.
What can you wait? I'm interested now.
Dude,
how do I win this? How do I win this for myself? How do I enter chat? Am I the only one that wants to know how to enter this? If you want to enter, he's going to tell you the secrets right now. Just so you know, none of you guys are going to win. It's me that's going to win because I'm about to rig it. But don't worry. Enter anyway, so it looks real. All right. Tell us.
The way to get in, all you really got to do is just I'm going to make it so that the sketch coins, which is just the channel points for hanging out in the stream and stuff like that, is going to be, you get channel points based on every minute that you're in the stream. And those points you can use to buy spaces in the board game. So you can buy another space in the board game, move forward, and the more you progress, obviously, you know, the closer you'll get to the end. But it'll be a certain amount of points per space, and every space that you go to will have a different card that I pick up, where either I have to do something, you have to do something, the sketch family has to do something, or you have to ask me a question. And
you have drawn,
the more you progress,
you have drawn the tax card. You owe me $150. I get this right. I get.
Not quite that hard.
I've got
but...
perfect. What an amazing. Wait, I think
more like
I'm
you have to
starting
do like a TikTok dance or something like that.
Oh, I love that. That is such a good idea. I love it.
Simple.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I'm excited for it.
So I'm on a project right now that is pretty large, and what I'm doing is I'm saving for a little trip. And once all this COVID stuff is over, I want to hire a camper van and essentially go on a little tour around America and Canada, meeting everybody from the stream. So it's really expensive though. Like it's crazy expensive. Just for the van, it's like $5,000, right? So just for a month. Obviously I'll do you deals the longer you hire it, but yeah, I want to do something similar. Just like, hey, what's up? I don't need.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, I don't need anything because I have my own place to stay and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But
it's a nice way to like just kind of connect with people. Like I went to Germany for that sketch family meetup a little while ago.
Yeah.
And that was so amazing to be able to meet people. Plus, it really like it kind of sets, because I don't know about you, but like for me, I'm still just a weird kid playing games in his room. Like, so like,
I don't know about the kid part, but definitely, I mean, you're definitely a little younger than I am. Only 14 years. No, what is it? 11 years or something? Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Might be 9.
But it kind of helps
you
with
said
your
25, right?
To be able to meet people. Yeah, I'm 25.
Oh yeah, so it's 9 years. I'm 34. But yeah, I it's just something I really want to do to like, I don't know, man. People don't realize how close you become to them and how much you depend on their friendship and
exactly.
I never know what it's like on the other end. So just being able to see people.
It's amazing the impact people can have on your life just by being in your chat and saying things in your chat,
Yeah. I mean, like I'll be having a really terrible day. And I'll just happen to get a decent photo. I'll post that on Instagram. And somebody will not even care about the photo. Hey, Punk, just wanted to let you know that I love you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, I feel good now.
Like, I love you. You're the best.
So chat, if you're out there and you're listening to this, let your streamers know that you love them. Let your friends know that you love them. Let your family know that you love them. You'll be surprised how many times I've been having a bad day and something like that has completely changed my mind.
Exactly.
And how many times I was thinking about not streaming because because of time or something like that, and somebody would be like, "Man, I love you so much. I just love your streams," and I'm just like, "All right, for that like one person, that one, all you need is one, man."
Exactly.
All you need is one.
All it takes is one.
Yeah,
it's amazing. I love it too. It's I don't know about you, but like streaming for me has just been. I would never. Like, this is what I want to do. I love it. I love it so much. And it's been the biggest impact on my life that I've ever had. I'm happy like that I quit my other job. I'm happy to not pursue anything else. Like I feel like there's just more that I can do here for everybody and for my own, like, mental state and my own self.
I feel that, dude. I mean, I'm in that place where I have so many things that I just love and adore. And I honestly love and adore my job.
That's awesome.
It's just it's such a beautiful thing, and I worked for 10 years to be able to get to where I am. And here's the thing: is awesome. Through streaming I realized that there is definitely other things I want to do, and definitely other places that I can focus my attention, and that I don't always have to be so crazy with my job, and I definitely have this this sort of knack for being able to work too much.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a slight workaholic, especially when it comes to like leading a crew and things like that. So, it's been nice. Streaming has been nice because it's given me an outlet for that. And it used to be playing music, but there's not that much music in Vancouver. Like people just playing really fucking terrible metal music and which is what I used to do blow off steam. And now streaming is, that's the thing. And it's had such a big impact on my life that I just couldn't give it up, awesome. Even if I wanted to,
Yeah, it's just amazing. Honestly, it's just amazing, and it's just a completely different platform that I don't know. I never really saw coming. I guess I didn't see this coming. I just was making clips initially to kind of have fun with Fortnite and stuff, and then it progressed from there and got got into something amazing.
What was the tipping point? Like, you know, when you were like, all right, I'm gonna jump on Twitch.
I think it was when I I'd got a paycheck that made it so that I could eat for a month
Oh yeah.
on just Twitch, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh, like I could do this.
Yeah.
And then I talked to my dad and I was like, listen, I'm gonna pursue my dream here. I'm gonna do this. And he's like, do it, go for it. So that was really the moment where I was like, I'm gonna really do this. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna put everything that I have into this. And it's interesting because like I haven't really been able to find things that I can do that with and
Yeah.
really put
It was the same with
my all
animation
in.
for me, man. It was the same
Yeah.
for animation.
But now I can't stop. Like
Yeah.
even after this, I'm gonna be thinking of different things that I can do for stream. Like that's just all I do.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so good. Yeah, man. It's a crazy, you know, it's a crazy thing that just kind of sweeps you up, you know.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely adore that. I still have more questions for you. We're so sidetrackable. It's crazy.
Sorry.
All
We're
right.
both ADHD. It's impossible for us to do this.
I've got one for you that's going to be a relatively quick question. So let's go with that one. Dose, the host with the most, says, how long have you been with Kirsty? Kirsty.
It's been 6 months on the 9th of this month.
How'd you all meet?
So, it's actually kind of a funny story. I went to a party. I'm not a very social person in terms of parties. Like I don't usually go to parties unless I'm at TwitchCon. Obviously, then I'm gonna go to every party I can go to. But I don't usually go to parties if I'm at home. I'll usually just kind of kick it at home and maybe hang out with a few friends. But my buddy Joe, actually Simply, I think he was in your chat earlier, but he was having a party and he invited me and I was like, sure, might as well. Like I miss you guys. I miss my friends.
Shout out Joe.
Might as well. Yeah, big shout out to Joe for sure. And I went over there and I had a lot to drink. It was hanging out with friends,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
And Joe gave me some pizza and was like, all right, here, dude.
I thought you were gonna say Joe gave me some pills. Joe gave me some pills.
Pizza.
He gave me some cocaine covered pizza, guys. Sorry. Yeah.
And I remember I tried to put it in the microwave and I clicked the microwave shut. And I looked, and it was the most complicated microwave I've ever seen in my life.
One of those ones where you push one button and it does 5 things.
Yeah, I was let's warm up pizza. Like, there's not I don't know. And Kirsty was looking at me from the corner, and she was like, "Do you need help?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she came over and helped me with the microwave.
Come on, let's be honest. You were more like She was like, "Hey, wait, you gotta say, hey, do you need help?"
Hey, do you need help?
Huh?
Exactly. I was like, what? So she helped me with the microwave, and then she messaged me on Facebook after that, and we talked a bunch.
Yeah.
And
Facebook, that's how Jamie and I met. Facebook.
I had been talking to other girls, but like I didn't want to hang out with them. Like my anxiety was like, no, like let's not, like I don't want to. But then she asked me to hang out and I was like, yeah. And I just went and I didn't have any anxiety about it at all. It was really weird.
Yeah, that's good.
And I've never been, ever since then, we've just like hung out a bunch. I've never been nervous about it. And yeah, we've kind of just been almost like inseparable basically since then.
I love that, man. That's the way it should happen though, you know?
It's amazing.
Kira tracked me down on Facebook and she saw me, saw something I was doing on Facebook. I don't know, I was having a bit of a whinge on Facebook. I don't know if you might, I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember everybody just whinging on Facebook about everything. But yeah, so I did a little bit of a like, oh, everything sucks. And she's like, hey, slides into my DMs, hey, you okay? Hey. And I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, I'm good. She's like, why don't you come over? I'm like, wait, what? And I did eventually. She kept asking me. Eventually I went over and that was it.
And now you're there.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, now we're freaking married, dude. In Canada,
relationship should always be easy.
It was
100%.
It was easy because I didn't have to do anything. She was just like, "Yep, so we're engaged and we're getting married." And Jess was saying, "Who is your biggest inspirations as a streamer and as a person?" That's a good one. Wayne Gretzky.
That is a good one. Oh, no, he's dope. I like Wayne Gretzky a lot, but
Wayne Gretzky's the man. I mean, like when anybody says anything about hockey, everyone's like, oh, you mean that Wayne Gretzky guy? Any nationality, like Wayne Gretzky? He is the most famous guy.
He's definitely,
and he was good as well. Like
he's considered the best hockey player ever,
right?
Still,
yeah.
And I mean, I stand by that too. He didn't get the most goals, but he got the most assists, and it's because he knew the ice so well. He just knew everything so well. I do like him a lot. I really do like him a lot. But I think that honestly, I mean, I don't mean to be, you know, but like honestly, you're a big inspiration for me, bro. Like,
wait, I don't understand why though.
Well, you rated me that time, and that's when I really started to look at what you're doing, and like
it's so easy though, man. Like, you know, to raid somebody. I feel like, you know.
Yeah, but at the time, it was huge for me.
Right.
At the time, it was amazing for me. Like, it was something that I had never expected really at all, you know, and to have like your amazing community at the time, like, and still now your amazing community that still comes around. That was a huge impact. And plus, like, watching your stream, dude, just the positivity and like who you are, and then meeting you in person at TwitchCon, like, I was just like,
meeting was really good. That was a really good
he's
time,
a good
man.
dude, honestly. And then plus, like, you, like, I don't know,
you're tooting my horn a little too much. Chat,
you're an awesome
God
person.
damn.
Right?
I'm sitting here trying to be like, you know, man.
I think honestly though, like, you're a big inspiration. Jonah's obviously I've been a huge inspiration on me too. Garen's been one of my homies since high school.
Yeah,
he's definitely a big inspiration too.
Garen's a good guy, man. I love Gus so much.
Yeah, me too. He's such a good dude.
I wish I could just have his attitude about shit, man. Like,
yeah,
I wish I could I wish I could see his perspective and just feel that in my heart. Is it like, you know, probably one of the coolest people I know. You know, there's people that have that, like, you know, spark, but he is just fucking cool, man.
Yeah. He's just dope. He's just a good dude.
Like, if he went on Joe's podcast, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. And also Joe Rogan too. Yeah, he's been one of my biggest. Like, I look up to him more than I looked up to pretty much anybody in the whole world. Honestly, still to this day, I really like him a lot.
He's a good guy, man. He's a really, really good guy. And I think it's really important what he's doing is just like taking really smart things and compressing them for all of us stupid people.
Yeah, exactly. Just being like, hey, I'm dumb, but I know that you guys don't know what I'm talking about too. So here's all the information as dumbed down as we could possibly get it. I like that a lot. And he's so straightforward and honest about things. He doesn't try to like hide things for.
Oh, he doesn't try to hide when he doesn't understand something either, which is just beautiful, you know?
He's okay with that. And a big thing that he like is kind of just like involved in and just like, I guess, pushes is to just be chill with like your own decisions, your own mind, and your own thoughts, you know.
Yeah, even if you make a mistake, and even if that's even if that's a really bad mistake, like a really, really bad mistake. Let's say you said something racist, you know, racist, or, you know, let's say you you know, you did something bad towards a girl or something like that. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to accept the consequences for that and just move on. And he is very much like that. Like, you know, definitely. He would still have you on the show if you accidentally hit and run somebody, as long as, you know, but he would drill you.
Honest about it.
He would drill you, man. He would just be like.
That's another thing is he's just honest about how he feels towards it too. Exactly. Like, he lets them talk, but then he's like, this is how I feel too.
Yeah, I think you're a piece of shit. Like, I don't know if you know that, exactly. But I actually think that you're a piece of shit and you kind of disgust me a little bit, you know?
Yeah. And I think he's actually even said that, like, on his podcast, actually. I wouldn't be surprised.
Which is crazy.
I admire his honesty a lot.
Yeah, I mean, when he was talking to Weinstein, like, just recently, you know, Weinstein was saying that, you know, essentially that the Black Lives Matter movement is a cult kind of thing, and that some of their values are wrong. And he was going into particulars about being wrong about something, and just like, well, that's fucking stupid. That's fucking stupid. You know, if you think about it like this, then clearly they have a point. You know, like, it's fucking stupid to think that is anything other than this. You know, and I love that, man. I wish I had that much confidence. That's serious confidence, dude.
Oh yeah, that's absolute confidence, which is, I admire that a lot. Just not questioning yourself, you know, that's a huge thing. And I've been able to, like, that's what's stream has helped me a lot with that too. Just be like, no, listen, because I'm always the person that's like, am I being dumb? Like, what? Does that
I
sound
need to
dumb
question
you or
myself
something?
though, because I'm so ADHD. I make all these fucking crazy moves all the time. I'm like, all right, guys, this week we're like the board game. I would be like, all right, we're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna travel across the world, and then I'm gonna make this whole wall of, and you know what? I'm gonna print everybody's signatures on my wall, and I just can't help it, man. I
The
can't help
ideas
it.
just go. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that 100%.
And I can't always get it working, get it going.
Mm-hmm.
I do have
Well,
one last question for you though.
yeah, go for it. Go for it.
What is the best part about streaming with the Sketch fam having your back? I don't know if you can guess who that comes from, but you might be able to. It's a very good friend of yours.
Maybe. Oh, wait, do you want me to guess who it's from, or do you want me to answer the question first?
Shit! I'm in a conundrum. Okay, all right, you know what? I'll just sit here quietly and you can decide. Boom.
I think it's either Lena or someone closer to me than Lena. Why? Maybe? No? Okay.
It's
right.
Tasha.
Tasha. Okay. All right.
I love how
well
every
played.
name I say, you say different. I'm like Kirsty, and you're like Kirsty, and I'm like Tasha, you're like Tasha. Fuck,
I have
dude.
the Utah US accent.
Yeah. Okay,
but
now
I would say, honestly, like, it's just the fact that they have my back regardless of what I'm doing. That's probably the thing that blows my mind the most.
right.
Is that I can play one game and finish it, and then switch to a different game, and then they'll just be like, yeah, I'm down. It's not like they're not there for the game, they're there for me, and that's what blows my mind the most. Like, because
Yeah, dude,
I just have an
that
entire
is super
family
weird.
who's
And
there.
I can't stick to
Yeah.
one game, so the fact that people are
That's
still
same.
watching my
Yeah.
stream,
Same. It's too hard for me
yeah.
to stick to one game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably the fact that they just always have my back, and it's an actual family rather than it just being like no, we just want to watch you play this game. Like, no, it's like, no, we're here for you.
Yeah.
That's the thing it's amazing to me, and I love it so much.
That's amazing, man. I'm glad you're having a good time, and I really want you to just keep going, and I think
definitely.
I mean, you can probably attest to this a little bit as well. I think one of the biggest things that I've learned from this is feeling good about other people's success. And I know when I started, maybe I had some type of jealousy, especially in the small communities. Like, he's got 6 viewers and I only have 3 viewers, and then you realize that just is fucking stupid.
Numbers are dumb.
And like, even though maybe you streamed to 10 people one time, there's still 100 people that love you, or there's still 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000 people that love you. It's just that only 10 people were able to hang out with you today.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's that's the reality of streaming, is that not everybody's going to be able to hang out all the time. That's why you see such a fluctuation in numbers, and some people can only hang out once a month. So once a month, you might be streaming to 10 viewers every day for a month, but they're 10 different viewers over across 1,000 different people.
Exactly.
And you have to realize that, and just grow from that.
Yeah, it's just important, again, to just not look at the numbers. Honestly, the less I look at the numbers, the better everything goes. Like, in terms of everything, like my process, the stream itself, confidence, everything. As long as I don't look at the numbers, then I can just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yeah, man. Well, I hope you keep it up, and I definitely want to have you back on the podcast again, man. Like, this has been so much fun.
Oh yeah.
And it was so funny because I have all these questions that I wrote out for me, but all the questions that came from Instagram. Actually, we have been talking so much about each one that we just kind of flew through the hour so quickly. That was definitely a crazy fast podcast for me, man. I didn't even notice.
For sure. It went by fast.
It went by fast, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, though.
Of course, man.
It, man.
And wait, one last thing though. You messaged me at 5-something a.m.
Listen, all right.
My phone's like ding. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? I open my phone, it's Dal. Hey man, we still on? I'm like, what the fuck? Dal, go back to sleep, man. Go back to sleep,
I woke
bro.
up last night in a panic. Because I was like, no, it's ahead, not behind in the terms of the time zone.
Yeah.
So I set my alarm early, and then I woke up and I sat here on my computer and I was like, what's happening?
are we still doing this thing now? I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I better message him. I'm like trying to get coffee. I'm like, whoa, oh man, I'm trying. You know, you're at that point where you can't even read the fucking anything. You know?
Oh yeah, where you look at the screen, it looks like the sun for a second, so you just put it down.
Exactly. And then and then I'm like, oh man, shit, I'd better, you know, because I have this whole schedule. I'm like, you know, I'm only waking up when I have to wake up.
Oh yeah.
On Saturdays.
I feel that.
And and it was so funny because I messaged you and you're like, I can almost hear you going, sorry. So
yeah, I had to post about it and everything. That's one of the things. Like, if you make a mistake, just laugh about it. You know, like I did that. I was like, oh my gosh,
that's so funny. Could you imagine if I woke up angry, like, dude, I'm not doing the podcast now?
Just like pissed off. Why are you working
on that note, my dude, I love you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, and it should be up on YouTube tomorrow or the next day, depending on when my editor is working or not working. And yeah, man,
good, dude.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. It should be afternoon for you now, right?
Yeah, I think so. Just a little 6 minutes afternoon. Yeah,
there you go, dude. All right, man. I will see you next time, and yeah. And
right,
yeah,
dude, sounds good.
And yeah,
man. I'll definitely talk to you later for sure.
For sure, man. Take it easy.